It's Re-Up Alex.
It's BMO.
And it is Rafeeki.
And this is the Re-Up Podcast. Really happy to be here, Submersion. I've been waiting for this for 2 years to do this podcast live. Really grateful for the festival owners and the people who vouched for us and said that this would be a cool moment and a special moment. And I think it's something that hasn't even really been done before. So thanks for being part of the journey and appreciate y'all. Have a good one.
How y'all boys doing? Good?
Yeah, we beautiful, man. How are you, man?
Oh, good. I was really happy it was warm today when I came out the camper. I was like, whoa.
Right.
It's nice.
I'm glad I'm sitting in the shade with the sweatshirt right now. I
Shit,
feel like I'd be wet.
You got a camper?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I had to sacrifice the budget this year because I was like, I can't do the tent. My back.
Yeah, you sound like BMO.
Yeah, we sound the same age, Rafeeki. I feel it, man. I feel it, man.
How old are you?
36.
Hey, me too. Let's
See,
go.
I told you. I told you. You sound 36. That's right, baby. 16 and 05. That's the best time, man. Best time.
Rafeeki, welcome to the Re-Up Podcast. I don't know if we even did a little slate, little intro, huh? So you want to?
No, we do that at the end, right?
Oh yeah, we usually do.
Come on, you getting rusty,
Damn,
baby.
I'm getting
God
rusty. We haven't
damn,
done this in a
son.
while, bro.
What the fuck?
Crazy, we live too. But yeah, I'm really happy to have you here, Rafeeki. For those who don't know, this is an underground legend, somebody who's been in the scene for a very long time, especially the experimental bass music scene, someone who has paved the way for a lot of the music that we know and love in the communities that we are a part of. Very glad to have you here, brother.
Yeah, welcome, man.
So much love, and I appreciate you guys too. Every single time I've gone to Richmond, y'all have shown me nothing but love. So yeah, I think this is our first
Thank
time
you.
crossing paths. But hell yeah.
It's good to meet you, brother. Well, tell us
Likewise.
about what's going on in Richmond, man. How they treating you? Be honest, man.
Oh, me?
I know you are. No, not you. I'm talking to Rafeeki, okay? Be honest. Although you gave him compliments just now, but give us the whole story. How's it going down in Richmond?
No, Richmond's good. Richmond's good. It's always nice to go to a place where the community is really coming together and people are passionate about bringing it together and just doing things to help the surroundings and stuff. I know you guys do the river cleanup. Really fire.
Shout out Rhythm City.
Yeah, man.
Shout out Rhythm City.
True. What are some other? So we were just talking about like ways to be radical. Alex was talking about radical inclusiveness. You don't got to be radical, but what are some of the ways that you've seen some of these collectives like ingratiate themselves in the community? Some of the ways that you appreciate the development of community.
Man, between definitely the cleanups, you know.
Yeah.
Over down in South Florida where I was living at, we did a lot of things where we were just helping food drives and stuff. They actually have this thing down there called Guitars Over Guns.
It's always a good mission if it's a cute name.
Yeah.
Every time.
So they go to the hood down there and they just kind of get kids that are acting up to try to switch to music school instead of just acting up, and it's a really cool thing to see. And yeah,
Yeah, there's a better choice.
yeah, definitely.
Way better
I think
choice.
if there's anything I'm attracted to the most, it's like things that benefit the kids and like the youth.
Nice.
The youth is important. The youth is very important. It's interesting. So I'm 3 years in living in Richmond, and I noticed that when Rhythm City Collective and a lot of the people I'm around got started, there weren't a lot of people who wanted to listen to experimental bass music. Everyone is into more of the heavier stuff,
Now, hold on.
rhythm and more of the big room festival sploinky, if I must,
What?
sounds. So I think it brought some of the younger kids who
What?
did enjoy experimental bass music into our crew and what we do, and we're very open to that. And I'm really grateful that those people who enjoy this music so much were open enough to be our friends and not feel scared that they're hanging out with older kids. And now they're like a
Older.
little
Okay.
older, and I'm like, y'all are becoming great fucking people.
Okay.
And I am so happy to be some sort of influence in the
Aw.
younger people.
Uncle
in
Alex
Richmond's
over
lives,
here.
So I totally understand.
Okay. Over here. Okay. I need y'all to do two
I'm
things.
not that old.
Okay. I need you to do two things. Splunky, we need to talk about that too.
Sploinky?
And secondly,
Oh, no.
I need you to talk about what is experimental bass.
What is experimental
if-
bass?
'cause
I'm
you
going to
know
let Rafeeki do that one.
you
That's
know-
a hard question there.
It shouldn't be
That's
that hard.
crazy.
I'm a music man. I know music.
Damn.
I'm a trained musician.
I don't
Break
know
it
if this
down to
question
me.
has actually been asked on this podcast before, which is crazy.
Well, here
We've
we
gone
are.
through every genre, but you've never been like, what's experimental
I
bass
sure
music?
haven't. I sure haven't. Is it like is that like saying what's vanilla ice cream? Am I tripping? Maybe a little bit. You don't know chocolate ice cream, brother?
We're on experimental bass, right? Sorry, the J
Experimental
smacking.
bass.
Yep.
Oh man, I don't know. I honestly, I have no idea what. I guess just something that is more unique in that dubstep bass form, more wide range world style.
Okay.
When I think of experimental bass, I think of artists like Chimera, of the Trees, stuff like that. And then when you go to dubstep, I think of like Distinct Motive. So I guess if we all know who like Of the Trees and Chimera and stuff like that is, that's what I consider experimental.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
Okay, so what category do you put like G Jones in? Because that kind of stuff gets like very left field.
Left field experimental.
Left field
It's
experimental.
like,
Okay.
I feel like right.
Yeah, a lot of times I think when like BPMs jump around a lot.
Okay, I was about to ask. I need give me some technical specifics. BPMs, changing keys, sample rate, beat pattern, syncopation. What differentiates experimental from just regular bass?
Man, it's such a crazy question. I don't
Oh
know.
shit!
I mean, I don't know. I guess if you also like throw in like the live aspect to it too, when people incorporate more of a live set, doing something like Ableton Live or just bringing that third aspect, I guess that would fall in the same line as well, right? Kind of.
Yeah, I think it all stems from 140.
Yeah.
You can go inside and outside of that, but then there's also like halftime, which does also get experimental and still bass music.
gets
So
more
that's the
spaced out.
subgenre, I would say, of a lot of experimental bass music. What else we got? Garage can also get pretty experimental, but that has more rigid lines.
What about down tempo opera?
Down tempo opera.
Nah, I just
What are we doing here? What?
Well, down tempo though also experimental. I don't know what BPM down tempo is generally in, but it's lots of them. Definitely like less than 75.
I go for 20. No.
Whoa.
About 100.
Okay. All right, now, okay, and then secondly, before I let y'all get back into your very detailed conversation about experimental bass, Splunky, can we again? Am I the lane?
Oh
Am
my
I the square out here right now?
Sploinky.
Yo,
Spoinky?
Sploinky.
Honestly, boys, forgive me, but I am cooking over here.
Oh yeah, come on in the middle,
come
man.
in.
We're gonna do the whole 3 dudes on a couch thing.
Oh, I love it.
Three dudes on a couch.
y'all are
with a
sitting
blunt.
comfy.
Oh, it's lovely over here, man. Soft, good on the back.
Okay, I can't believe I'm gonna do this, but Sploinky. Sploinky music is the definition of music that stems from Subtronics and his influence on rhythm and that side of
Careful.
electronic music. So basically, he created the word Sploinky, and now people make music within his Sploinky side of the genre. I don't really know what that means. I don't listen to it myself. Respect to Subtronics. Everyone seems to love his music and his project, and everyone says that he was actually playing with Poi at Yonderville, at the last Yonderville, but I swear to God, he just looked like Subtronics. He was not actually there. Sploinky music, yes.
Sure.
Point.
Got it. Okay, cool.
I digress.
I have to say I'm always surrounded by a lot of bass music and the style of stuff that generally on my off time I really like to try to go towards hip hop and just a lot of things that don't have to do with bass music on my listening time.
No, I totally agree. And I think that a lot of the bass music that I enjoy, which is within the Charles the First, Essex, Potions, Lab Group, that side of things is super hip-hop derived. I mean, sometimes someone will play me a bass music song. I'm like, this is just a rap beat. It's just a rap beat.
Start freestyling.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's coming together. Okay, I'm getting it together. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
okay, okay.
Yeah.
So how do you make a genre?
How do you make a genre?
Yeah, we were talking about this kind of earlier. Like, what are the makings? What are the makings of a genre? Unless y'all just go outside, look up at the stars, and be like, oh, there it is. And now I got it.
In a weird way, it's I guess kind of something like that,
Okay.
metaphorically. Yeah, I don't know. I usually, when I start to be funny enough, I kind of start off with my hi-hats, and however my head kind of bobs to that is like what I kind of go with. So the genre is kind of built out from that. Sometimes it wants to just like vibe and go a little bit faster, and that goes up to like the drum and bass section,
Okay.
or even like that dubstep 140 vibe. Sometimes it'll go to a little bit slower. It just switches up constantly. So I can't really say there's a specific way about going about making the genre.
Okay. That's so fascinating to me. Because I come from
the stars, man.
The stars. Just looking up at the stars. So like when I think about like the evolution of jazz. I hope I don't get booed right now. But when I think about like the evolution of jazz, I think about like how they manipulated the circle of fifths to create bebop, and then bebop becomes different forms of genres. After
Absolutely.
That. So I think in my mind it feels like the rigidity of genre should be like, oh no, we did this thing and now we got a new thing. But it doesn't feel like that's the vibe in the electronic scene.
No, I think it's more so just kind of attacking a certain vibe and just manipulating it how you see fit. There's been plenty of times where I've tried to make a UKG garage, and for some reason it turns into a drum and bass song.
Interesting.
Fair.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I sit for many of hours in the bottom floor of my house watching people make beats, watching Ross make songs. I really like the Low song. Ross, it's a good one. The Low song is good. But yeah, I see that all the time where someone tries to make something that's like more aggressive, and then by the end of it, they're like, yeah, it's actually a chiller. It's like a lo-fi song now. But yeah, moving away from the genres, because we could definitely talk about that for a while, and touching on your jazz concept there's a lot of different subgenres of jazz.
Oh, of course.
There's like straightforward. There's experimental.
Yeah,
there's,
of course.
Jazz soul. There's like more that like UK neo soul stuff, like Tom Mishk and like Yusuf Days. So I think it's the same thing with, like we've said on this podcast before, jazz, electronic music, and then getting into like that jam band scene. They all kind of intersect in this weird way.
That's wild.
Yeah, it's a crazy world, but. I definitely wanted to ask you a question, Rafeeki. So you've been in this community for a long time. Would you say that right now in 2025, I always like to say we're kind of in the future. Would you say that with the journey you've been on, it's more accessible for people of color to be in this space than when you first started? Or has it kind of just been baseline the same the whole time?
Man, I don't know. Coming out of Miami, I feel like I've kind of experienced a little bit of a baseline thing because it's just like the culture is just so diverse down there. And you experience so many different things that, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I've obviously, witnessed it before in some cases, but especially in Miami, very minimal. Just because it's just so diverse. You get people from so many different parts of the world coming through there.
Yeah, I mean, more so on your travels, though, because you've been going to all these different places. I mean, I know you pop up in middle of nowhere, Iowa, or like, wherever over the past, 10 years.
I would say then it varies because, just as much as you come across people who are just whack with all their intentions, you come across people who are amazing with all their intentions that give people opportunities. So it varies, honestly, in different places.
Yeah, the opportunity part is something we touched on earlier, and something that I'm very grateful for, because when somebody decides to not take the low road of excluding someone, like let's say a person of color or an underrepresented community, it is a very special thing. And I'm super appreciative for all the people who have done that within like my time of being here. But I also think that it becomes a thing where like it's good for everyone, and I don't see why people just can't be inclusive. And I think that being in these spaces,
you don't see why?
I truly don't understand it, because it's actually easier to be nice than mean.
Is it?
It is. It 100%
Are you sure?
is. I think it is easier to be nice.
To be
than
nice
to be mean.
means you
I
have to
try
engage.
To be mean. Same with being mean.
No, with being mean, you don't have to engage at all. Like, you're actually actively disengaging.
So, okay, so you're talking in the sense of like if somebody were to ignore a person of color who is trying to get their attention and ask for, directions for something, right? They had to take time to be mean, and they had to think about how they're not going to talk to you. You think that's more effort than saying three things?
I think it's easier to tell somebody to fuck off.
Yeah.
Fuck off is the easiest two words to say, other than pay me. Fuck off, pay me. Those are the easiest things you can say to somebody.
I don't know. I feel like, and this might just be me, but when I have to use aggression, and usually it's like to defend something, like I'm very defensive of like my friends and the people who are around me, it takes me like a week to get back to my normal self, my normal routine, and it consumes my mind, and I can't create art for as fast or as well as I usually like to. So it's just not something I prefer to get into unless I have to, because it's taxing.
Can I be a little Malcolm?
Of course.
Let me just be a little Malcolm.
Of course.
And Fig, I want to hear from you too, man.
Kiddo.
Let's say you do run into some shit in the woods.
Yeah.
Wouldn't radical inclusiveness mean that these people are going to help you beat ass instead of you like swallowing your humanity?
Oh, 100%. I mean, that's something I'm also very grateful for in this community. I've had plenty of times where my friends have had my back. I mean, that story I told earlier where the
Y'all
guys
jumping people. Okay,
dropping
gotcha.
the N-word, you best believe all of my homies were right behind me, ready to go.
Well, right, but like, is there when you go to these places and something happens or you feel like something might be happening, do you also feel the need that Alex just expressed to kind of like, all right, let me just chill, let me be cool out here, or does your humanity come up first? Are you allowed to be pissed off?
Am I allowed
Because that's inclusive
to be
right there.
pissed off? Ooh, that is a deep question.
Or once you get pissed off, are you escorted to the front gate? Is that your fear?
I know that.
Y'all got quiet on me.
I know that this community is tolerant of people getting pissed off in the sense of like they know that there's a time and a place for that, and you have to let your aggression out. And as long as you're ready to apologize for anything that maybe step the line and have a conversation later, I really think that that's like the energy that kind of people are coming from here. And hey, some people have bad days. Some people just have to let out their emotions. It's best to not bottle them up. But I think as long as your initial intentions are correct and you're ready to also like apologize if you do anything wrong, then you should always be yourself. And you should always let out your true feelings and those true colors. Even if it is being, I take it back, even if it is being harsh or mean or bad.
I have to be
evil, you should just
transparent. And
Please.
All right, so
I want to hear the truth.
I think it is all about the intention. If it's coming from a place of ignorance and malintention, and they're saying it in a way where it's like trying to hurt you, I think without any reaction, a smack could come out of nowhere.
Yeah, true. You don't know how people are going to react, man.
Yeah,
That's
but
true.
if it's being said out of, maybe just someone feeling like they're allowed to say it because of whatever neighborhood they grew up in and all that.
Oh, okay.
I think it's someone being uneducated, and you should give them the chance to educate them. So ignorance, you might get smacked right away. If you're trying to hurt someone, you might get smacked. But uneducated, maybe it might be nice to give them a chance to educate them and see where it goes from there.
That's fair.
So there is nuance here. So it's not like black and white per se.
Yeah, I think it should be more about patience in a sense, especially the older you get. Obviously...
Right.
A lot of young-minded ways. It's like
We
you're
can't
catching
just
these hands real quick. But yeah, I think with us getting older and especially trying to bring communities together and be that difference, there has to be patience in some sense.
Okay.
In some sense, in the smallest way.
Okay. I mean, I'd hope so. Because, the times is times and outside.
The times are times, and life is life. And
yeah.
I've definitely been in situations where there has been no patience, and anger has been the resort. So it's like we could keep going that way, or we could try to be a little bit of a change.
Yeah. Okay. I just as we're talking about inclusiveness, I just want to make sure that your full self is included. You know what I mean? If there's any hesitation there, then maybe there's some more work to be done. But if you're saying you can whoop an ass in a Submersion Fest because somebody stepped the line, and then Alex said, all I got to do is apologize, okay, I'm cool. We good. Not that you need a B-Bo's permission, but I'm saying.
I truly, as somebody who used to have even more aggression than I have in my whole body now when I was younger.
I don't know this guy.
I truly believe that now, if somebody was trying to be aggressive with me or fight me, I can actually defuse that with words way faster than me getting to hitting them. As long as they don't come at me actually trying to fight. I truly think that words, if you can articulate your words and get down to the root of why this person is upset and come to a compromise, that should always be the first step. And it's kind of a fun challenge.
Right.
Well said, and that's exactly like the point I was trying to get across. Exactly what you just said right there.
Yeah.
But let's back up because I don't want to paint a whole demographic as y'all out here hiding in the woods. That's not what I'm saying. Is there? That'd be crazy. I mean, shit. I'm gonna tell my truth, man. What you want me to do, man? But no, like, are these rare occasions? Is this like a systemic thing that you're seeing, or is this like every so once in a while somebody got their mouth wide open?
It is every once in a while.
Okay, for sure.
For sure.
Because I don't get that vibe from the community that is a real fuck off type of community.
Yeah. I think the main problems for me that could happen in real life here in the festival community would be like, just a feeling of, yes, there are less people of color, right? Somebody says something a little insensitive like, oh, you look like Tyler, the Creator, or, you look like your friend over there who is also black, who's from the DMV. Happens all the time. Later, I'm going to show you my homie, and I'm going to ask you if we actually live like this. We get mixed up. Bro, I'm not even going to say his name. Shout out. Bro,
I'm really excited. Make sure we film that part. Make sure we get that part.
No,
Because I want to see.
That, and then, like, just the almost... I wouldn't
if y'all do, that's hilarious.
I would say it's different than, like, being tokenized, but, like, the fetishization of just being the black person here. It's like, oh yeah, let me go compliment you on your clothes because I know you got that shit on. Like, that's cool and all, but it's like everyone else looks good. You don't have to personally come up to me or like say something that's relating to something you think I would like, or those that's also something that can happen. But that's fine. That's all love.
Are you saying people walking up to you and saying they voted for Obama? Is that what you're saying?
It's like if you went to Asia, right, and you're a black person, a lot of people are gonna come up to you, right, and say hi to you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like that.
Oh, okay. Be honest. Hold on. Let's be honest now. Let's be honest. So you don't like the fetishization?
The what?
The fetishization. You don't like being pointed out? You don't like if particular parts of the sex are looking at you
well,
like,
I think it's actually very...
It might be my time.
No, so I think that it is overwhelming for people to say a lot of good things to you or a lot of bad things to you. They're both sides of the spectrum that can be overwhelming. A lot of people are congratulating you on something that you've done left and right. For me, it's like I need to take time to give them an intentional thank you back and even break down the things that they did to make me feel appreciated. That's how I would reciprocate that, right? Or somebody's coming at you and saying XYZ about you, or you're doing XYZ, then I also need to take time to respond to that, and that's overwhelming. So yeah, I don't really like it.
Okay. What about you, Fee?
I appreciate it. Keep saying thank you to me. That's great.
All right, I feel like you pretty nailed that one in the coffin.
Well, that's all you got? That's all you got?
Yeah. I was flowing in and dialed in on what he was saying. I was like, yeah, it's pretty along the same lines.
Okay. If y'all say so, I mean, if there's another conversation we need to have off air, I'd want to, we could definitely.
You're wild.
I'm just saying, man. Y'all in the woods. You say you're one of many. I don't know. It seems like the obvious question. Hey, what are you doing in the woods?
What am I doing in the woods? I mean, also, Richmond in general is like 50% black. Like 50% black, and then it's just every other race of people. So you get black people in all sorts of weird niches and cool things, from anime to, I go down, fishing at the river. It's all kinds of people. I go to the NASCAR track, all kinds of people. Like, we're very lucky and grateful. And as this music becomes more popular, naturally you are going to see a lot of different faces and types of people in these spaces. And honestly, for me, it's telling someone who has not seen this, who's part of an underrepresented community, that this stuff is cool. It only takes going to a rave or a festival once. I almost guarantee you're going to be hooked. Get your friend, who does not go to this kind of stuff, when you go home, everyone tell one person, it might change their life. It might save their life even.
Yeah, Miami's kind of like, once again, very diverse, like I was saying earlier, and there's so many different pockets that like literally it doesn't matter where you go. It's like, Spanish or Hispanic, African American, people from like just like the islands. It's just it's crazy. You go to Little Haiti, you have a lot of Haitian food there. You go to Little Havana, it's like nothing but Cuban stuff. So yeah, you throw a party or a dubstep party, and so many different people come and they hear music that they've never heard before, and it just brings everybody together down there. That it's like nobody thinks about race or anything for the most part,
Oh, wow.
You just touched on something that I'd love to tell a story about. So you said like something about people who come from islands, right? So I was reading a little bit on the history of dubstep, and I ended up learning about this thing called the Windrush generation. So what this is post World War II, the UK, Great Britain, decided to bring people from the Caribbean or invite them over to become citizens to help rebuild Great Britain after the war. So this is Trinidad, Jamaica, Grenada, where my grandparents are from, all the Spice Isle and West Indian areas, over in that part of the Caribbean. So all of these people start migrating to the UK from the Caribbean, and they bring dub and reggae and ska and all of these different kinds of music. And that is actually the point before the Koki and Mala and James Blake and Scream and Banga and all of those people actually got into it, because they were getting the records distributed to the stores that they brought over. And yeah, it's something that happened from the 1940s to 1971, and that is essentially the stepping stone into why we have dubstep, is because people from these islands brought music that nobody had ever heard before to the UK because of World War II and trying to rebuild their war-torn cities. And yeah, people essentially found those types of music, and of course, house music and things like that came from synthesizers. But once they got into electronic music, people who were trying to be more experimental were messing with records and loops and doing weird things to them. And these were the plates, the records that they found. So yeah, Windrush generation. I've been wanting to tell that story.
Knowledge.
No, that's what's up. There's an excellent set of films. Small Axe is about that particular generation.
Oh.
Definitely go check that out. It's on Amazon Prime right now, Small Axe. I think Steve McQueen is the name of the director, black dude. It's a series of 5 films that includes this generation. When you talked about it earlier in the car, I was actually thinking about the education portion of the situation, but I don't want to go there. I actually want to go back to a question I asked earlier about the makings of a genre. So, like, Alex, you just talked about how the founders of dub and the founders of electronic music were listening to sounds of the past. Feek, how do you develop your sounds? Are you digging into the past as well, or are you more focused on like present sounds and what the future will sound like? Are you leaning on more things? Or as I like to ask guests in a different way, what's your relationship to Luther Vandross? How are you developing sounds?
Man, basically, one of my main things is pulling them from my cultures. I'm Puerto Rican, Cuban, and Hungarian, so I find a lot of and especially with like Cuban music too. A lot of that old school Cuban music is just so soulful. So pulling out a lot of percussion for that, and then when I started the Rafeeki project, I actually started leaning more towards like Kenyan and Maasai culture and stuff. Because because Rafeeki is friend in Swahili.
Okay.
So I was just really fascinated by like those type of drums. So
interesting.
I like to pull it from cultures a lot, and then just kind of build a story out of it.
How'd you get to Kenya?
I used to date a Kenyan girl.
Nice. Love girls, man. Teach you everything.
You're crazy.
Yeah.
Great cooking.
You're crazy. You're crazy. Yeah. Tell me a little bit about your live music experience, because a lot of times when I see you read the crowd. Like, I feel like you play a lot of music based on how you're feeling and what you're seeing, but that's just my perception of it all.
Man, 9 out of 10 times I'm not seeing nothing. I'm so like just gone and in a, I guess, flow state almost.
Yeah, exactly.
Uh,
That's what I'm saying.
I would definitely say, man, I wish I could say I was like playing it to see how everybody's moving it for everybody else, but I'm definitely in my own mind up there for the most part. And people, I guess, can relate to that feeling they get when they see it.
Whoa. Whoa.
I don't know.
That's deep.
Whoa. Even, okay, so when y'all
It's
mentioned the experimental part of experimental bass earlier, I had never considered that the experiment might be happening now. Not like we had recorded this and I'm playing it now and I'm coming off this rip. But no, I'm experimenting this motherfucker now.
The experimental part of experimental bass that's experimentally happening right now. The
Right
experiment.
now.
Well, underground
Right?
music.
Am I wrong?
Underground music in general and underground music and underground culture, in my opinion, is very fluid. It can change forms at any time, and that's what makes it niche, and that's what makes it underground, and that's how it becomes cohesive. It's a lot of hive mind mentalities and people trying new things and things sticking, and a pocket of that scene becomes obsessed with this one little part of it, and then other people think it's cool and it influences their side of the art. It even goes as deep as a conversation that I had with Greg G. Jones last night. We were talking about how people who promote and make underground bass music and dubstep get kicked out of venues all the time because the crowds, they just don't like them. I don't even understand why. But we're always bouncing from venue to venue, and that even goes as deep as, people are throwing shows in unconventional areas because that's all they can do. A restaurant after hours that cleared out all of the seats and tables, and we do that once, and they don't like it either, even though they made great alcohol sales. And we got to go to the next place. And that's been happening since like the start of this counterculture side of music.
Huh.
But that is a part of, this whole podcast where I was talking about underground music and what it means. That's probably the deepest side of it that I've come to realization of lately, is it's just fluid. It's always constantly in motion. And on, what was it, episode
That's
3
fascinating. Yeah.
with Ryan Celsius, he mentioned that if you don't nurture a niche or underground community or a genre, eventually it can die out.
Of course. Of course.
Yeah.
I agree.
Huh. I'm kind of blown away. Okay. Here's where my mind is going right now. Okay, you guys are very, as you're talking to me, I'm very much connecting it to like Branford Marsalis experimental jazz. Even when you just said a second ago, owners are putting people out of the club because like the audience doesn't like them. So then like that leads me on to two things. If it's fluid and it's not based on audience reaction, when you go into this flow state, what are you tapping into? Is it knowledge? Is it self? Is it referential to other sounds? Because now you got me out here. Now I don't know what the fuck y'all talking about. Because experimental jazz, like I went to a Branford Marsalis concert maybe 10 years ago, and his whole point is to play the opposite of what you expect, which means it sounds terrible, but they're doing it on purpose. But they're still referencing something like technical melody. But you guys are just fucking me up here.
So essentially the question is like, what is it that I'm tapping into when I go into that flow state out there?
Where are you at?
I don't know, man. I guess just life, self. I think
Yeah.
the hunger, the amount of time that's been spent in it, I think all that is kind of like thought about beforehand. And then it's just like, DMT trip.
Got it. Got it. Understood, I think.
Yeah, and to touch on the whole getting
not.
kicked out of different spaces thing, it actually makes me think that the actual crowd that we're bringing, we are more inclusive than most genres, I would say.
It is, and I think the connection from performer to listener, when the listener feels inclusive, when they feel like they know that person, when they feel like their music is having them really process life in a way that they maybe can't at the time, I think that's special. It's very interesting when you come across somebody that's like, yo, I had a life mind-altering moment to one of your songs. It's like, all right, that's crazy.
That is crazy.
and in the best way possible, obviously, you know. But I think also, I don't know if we touched on like artists that kind of. I don't know if we talked about it, but sometimes artists get like a god complex from the compliments, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And I feel like that's when you run into artists that are just kind of like feeling like, you know, they're God essentially. They just get gassed up so much that they're like, you know what? They pray to me.
Oh, wow. Oh, shit.
Tell me more. That sounds crazy, bro.
Just like when you come across artists that have like that very giant ego, you know. I'm pretty sure we can all think of a couple artists, whether they were canceled, they're still in the game.
Yeah, you know, I've been in the music industry for 10 years, over 10 years, and I've seen a lot of close friends become very successful, and some have maintained it, most have not. And I will say the main thing that you want to have around you if you're doing really, really well and you're continuously doing well is a solid friend group, because that is what's going to tear you apart personally. If you do not have solid support, it's tough. It's tough.
It's
tough.
very,
very tough.
If you make it out.
Yeah.
Well, tell me, how do we do that? How do we build that solid support group? What does that look like?
One thing that a lot of people around me lately have been preaching to me is to not seek things.
Never want to chase, always attract.
Not chase things. And it's a super hard practice. It's a super hard meditation.
But you also have to filter out the attract, because the more you do things that become successful within the community, the more you do attract, and you have to decipher out what's the good and the bad that's actually being attracted to you. You know, some people just want something.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I was in a conversation not too long ago where we were talking about, is there a strategic use for those type of relationships, or just fuck them?
And one time for the one time, fuck them.
Fuck them, okay, for sure.
No. Yeah, I don't know, man. I guess kind of just going back to patience and figuring out what's the right move to make with those situations.
For sure.
Yeah, that's interesting. So, Rafeeki, how many times have you been to Submersions? Is it your first time, or?
I think I've came every time. I think. Wow. Except for, I think I heard the earlier ones. It was like in a warehouse or something. I wasn't there for those early stages, but every single time they've been on this ground, I've been here. Last year, I actually had a show in St. Pete, and I decided to come just for one day and risk it to see Shy FX. So yeah, I just came for one day last year, and it was wicked.
No, I love the One Day Send.
It was the One Day Send, man.
One Day Send that's definitely high level festival goer activities right there. But I remember last summer I went to Shambhala, and then I went straight to Soundhaven for 24 hours. I'd never been there before.
Legend.
I went home, unpacked, repacked, and then I went straight to Soundhaven. And I had, out of all the festivals that I went to that year, I think I went to like 12. 24 hours at Soundhaven was my favorite. Because that festival specifically is still feral.
Very feral.
Not Yonderville feral, but close and reminiscent.
Yeah. You feel dirty when you leave.
What?
Whoa.
We talking about that fetish again? What's going on? What's happening?
So Submersion, yeah, I love it.
Oh, wow.
The Woods stage and Tent Audio, huh?
Wow, okay.
Tent Audio. Look at that thing.
I get it. Wonderful speakers. Beautiful gowns. I get it. I got it.
I hear a lot of things about a couple festivals that are not around anymore, and people who've been in the scene for a while just rant and rave about. And the top two that I hear about would be Camp Bisco and Yonderville. Do you have any stories or any good times from these events that you can reminisce on here?
No comment.
No comment?
Oh, wow. Damn.
No, Camp Bisco, I've had some great times. Yonderville, I've had some
other times
insane moments. Honestly, one of the compliments that I get the most is a sunrise that I did at Yonderville. It was pretty crazy, and yeah, so I've definitely just had some special moments at Yonderville, and I have met amazing people. But yeah, Other than that, no comment.
No comment. Yeah. I don't know. It just really goes back to like the words of Feral Festival. Yeah. It always comes up. Yeah.
You know, just to also touch on something, and I'm not gonna like point any fingers or name anything out specifically, but I want to touch on something. I think for an artist that is just like, you know, on the grind, on the journey, still hasn't peaked the way they wanted to, not getting paid enough, all that stuff. It sucks so much when you go play these festivals and they're just like, all right, here's the set, go fend for yourself, go survive. And like, you have to wait to get paid with no communication, and it's like, it's just so hard. So if there's anything I can encourage is like, yo, communication. Like, communication is key in so many different ways.
Yeah.
I still practice it so much every day. I'm still learning, but
so
I try to be
difficult.
better at it. And yeah, a lot of these artists, they just spend so much money to get to these places, and they're like, I'm going after it, I'm going to do it, I'm going to make it. And then they're like, shit, I can't pay my rent. And it's like, yeah. And then they can't get a hold of the promoter, and it's just constantly a thing like that. And I hate that so much.
Yeah, and I know we've had many of conversations about that, like, you know, from an artist management to touring artist standpoint. It's interesting to me because, you know, BMO, if you did something like that in the rap community, it would be a lot different. So I think that is kind of like a different side and thing that happens within electronic music is it is a little more passive because this music is essentially supposed to be an escape. And I think that's why a lot of people are here is they were lost at some point and they found this or trying to escape something, or they just generally love the music, or it's a mix of all of those things. So the passiveness is definitely a big thing within the electronic music community. And I think that if you really, really, really
pay me, fuck that, bro. What?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Absolutely. I think it's an interesting thing when you take a passion and you turn it into a career. And when you go through those growing stages, you have to learn how to set your boundaries. So yeah, it eventually does get to a point where it's like, fuck you, pay me. But throughout the learning stages of it, it's like, all you want is that opportunity.
That's true.
You get that opportunity, you're like, you know, and I know in the rap game, it's like a lot of times people pay to play. You know, there's a lot of that, especially at Rolling Loud and stuff like that. It's like, there's so many people that pay to get that set. And, yeah, it's just, once again, interesting turning your passion into a career. You have to set boundaries. You have to value yourself. You have to go through those trials and tribulations in order to get to that point where you're like, fuck you, pay me, you know?
Yeah, exposure points, you know, can't be spent everywhere.
Definitely.
Hands up.
Hell yeah. Well, yeah, you got any questions for us, Rafeeki?
No, man, I really thank you for the opportunity to do this. I kind of dove into what you guys do. I love it, especially what you. Thank you guys for always taking care of me once again when I come out to Richmond. And, yeah, that's it. I'm happy we're all out here at Submersion. It's the final day. It's going to be a really crazy day. Yeah, I'm just really excited to end this stage off tonight, so it's going to be good.
Yeah, thanks for coming through, man. Thanks for listening, y'all. If you get a chance to subscribe, like, download, and follow, we really appreciate it. You can find us on Instagram at the Re-Up, ODCAST. You can also find us on Patreon for exclusive content. New episodes every other Thursday. Thanks for your trust. Appreciate y'all.